Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Andrew King, Chief Innovation Officer here at Rand Group, and wanted to share something I've been wanting to shoot for a while, actually. Top Copilot prompts for Business Central analysis views. So if you watched a couple webinars that we've done in the past, I'm a huge fan of the analysis views in Business Central. I think it's been game-changing. Number one, just to be able to analyze data. Number two, it's kind of Microsoft's big attempt to get people to stop exporting stuff to Excel. Is it quite there yet? No, but it will be. And also, I think it helps for our clients moving from Dynamics GP to Business Central, and that they had smart lists in GP. They don't have those anymore, and so this is a great feature in Business Central. So here I thought I'd take a shot at kind of listing what we think are some of the top areas to take a look at. So number one, customers. I'll show you some examples. Vendors, items, posted sales invoices, posted sales invoice lines, and chart of accounts, obviously for general ledger stuff. Honorable mention goes to purchase orders, posted purchase invoices, posted purchase invoice lines. And I'm going to caveat this entire video by saying, is it perfect? Is the Copilot feature perfect? No, but Microsoft continues to invest in this in every single release, and every single release it gets a little better. So in this video, I'm going to show you the good, the bad, the ugly, things to watch out for, how you can leverage it, and areas that it's not quite there yet for. But it is, like I said, it's gotten tremendously better in the past year. So without further ado, let us jump into this right here. So here we go. Okay, first area I'm going to start with is customers. Now, keep in mind, I've got a couple notes over here on the side, so I apologize if I'm looking off to the right, but there's the first one we're going to go do. So we're going to put this back in the regular view here, and we're going to start from scratch. So I'm going to ask it just for customers that owe us more than $5,000. Okay, very simple start. So I'll go to Analyze List. I'm starting from the main list view of customers, and I will literally type, show me all customers who have amounts greater than 5,000. Should be relatively straightforward. Okay, so let's just hang out there for a second and see what she does. Okay, so hey, all right, not too bad. It didn't sort it yet, but here's what it actually went and did. So if you're familiar with analysis views, all it did was pick the fields that it felt were most relevant. Not quite sure why it showed location code, so we'll kind of take that out. I've got responsibility center in there, but we don't really use it, so let's take that little guy out. So now I've got balance. Right now, I didn't really specify, was it balance owing, was it just outstanding balance, period. So let's add balance due to this list. Now it's a demo environment, right? So we notice that these values are the same, but in the real world they probably wouldn't be. But I want to show you what it did here. If I go to the analysis filters, you'll notice right there, there's a little filter on balance, right? And balance greater than 5,000 bucks. That's how it interpreted what I asked it for. It actually set a filter over there. So again, let's take out balance to kind of make this thing clean. One other little buggy thing you're going to notice is I can drill down on this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to see what the heck it comes up with. And shockingly enough, it came up with nothing. Doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So this is sort of the bad, the ugly of it a little bit. What you'll notice is it says tray research balance here for some reason, and we clicked on, I believe, a datum. If I go to the filter, again, you're going to notice the customer name actually is filtered on tray research. And to be honest, I have no idea why it did that. We'll put a ticket in with Microsoft on that one. But again, I wanted to share this on purpose. This is not just a mistake. Now, funny enough, if I actually drill into the tray research one, guess what? It's actually going to come up with some data. So, yay. But at the end of the day, clearly something's not quite right there. So, yeah, it came up with it. I can sort highest to lowest. Again, I can't drill down from here because that little bug. We'll figure that out eventually. But again, wanted to show you kind of the good and the bad on the customer filter, but really easy to set up, really easy to do. Now, keep in mind, if I wanted to say look at open balances by year, like an age trial balance, if you will, you'll notice that what I'm limited to in the analysis view is really just the fields that are available on the record that I'm inquiring about. So we don't have, any sort of date related fields here. So there's nothing I can do to sort by year, et cetera. And I just want to point that out because people might look at this and say, oh my gosh, I can do those great analysis. Well, Microsoft is releasing that capability to do table joins and fancy things down the road. And I actually think it's due for spring 2026 to a degree. But as it stands right now, you'll see the stuff I have is somewhat limited to the entity that I'm inquiring about. So it is kind of what it is. Let's switch subjects, head over to vendors here real quick. And again, you can tell I've been kind of playing around with this. So I'm going to switch back to the regular view. And again, let's try something that should be a normal, say, inquiry. And I'll show you the good and the bad on this one too. Let's say show me my top vendor spend for the last year. Seems simple enough, right? Well, hold on one second. Remember what I just said about the customer record not having dates? Let's see what happened here. So number one, it's showing me the balance. Now it took my date idea and kind of ran with it in a bit of a funky way. You'll notice on the right side, even though, yeah, last date is there, we're like, oh my gosh, it did it. That's amazing. Well, not exactly. You'll see that the field that it chose was the last modified date of the record. That doesn't actually have anything to do with the question that I asked. So it took a little bit of artistic freedom with that. We're just going to remove that to kind of remove all doubt. But that's how it, again, interpreted what I was asking. You'll also notice that there's 54 rows in this report. It did not filter on my top 10. Now, the question is, well, why not? Right? Seems simple enough. When I go to the analysis filters, you'll notice there's absolutely no filter on here. But let's assume for the sake of argument, let's take this balance field here, and let's just see what I can do. You'll notice that there is no top N filter here at all. So the short answer to my query is that it was impossible to do that. Okay. Now, another little nuance that you may have already noticed. I asked it for spend. Well, what did it do? It showed me balance. Not exactly what I asked for. Okay, but it set up the structure. It's nice. Okay. What I really want to be more relevant to my query is payments. Right? I want to see what I've spent with the vendor. Now, again, keep in mind, I have no date filter on this entity. I don't have date of payments. If I wanted that, absolutely. Remember I said sort of posted purchase invoices got honorable mention. I could go to that view and do the same thing and see what my spend was by year because I've got date fields on the invoice header, right? So my point in all this is you really, yes, you can ask it questions and it looks very shiny, but you got to know the limitations of what you're doing. No different than any other report or tool. You really got to know what you've got available. So for me, this balance thing makes literally no sense. So we're just going to kill that. Again, I love the fact it threw location code up there. I really don't care. Let's take responsibility center out of that. Let's take payments and oops, sorry. Let's grab that little dude and move him up. Okay, now we're making some sense. The last thing I'm going to do, you'll notice there's some zeros here. Okay, and again, keep in mind, I asked for top 10, didn't give me top 10. I got a lot of extraneous stuff here. So the last thing I was going to do is remove zero value payments and hit enter. And hopefully we'll see that 54 get reduced quite a bit. Now keep in mind, theoretically, I should be able to filter on payments greater than zero, which I'm going to make a wild guess as to that's exactly what it did, right? And you can see payments not equal to zero, right? So actually, it legit, if I had some credits, those would actually still show up. It actually literally interpreted what I said. I don't want it to show zeros. I think in my own mind I was thinking over zero, but that's okay, or greater than zero. But now what you'll notice as well is because it's still in the query itself, in the memory of Copilot, it threw balance back on there because that's what it went with the first time. So it kept payments because I asked it about payments, but I'm going to say remove balance from view, and with a little bit of luck, it will take it out. So we'll see how it does there. It did not, right? So again, kind of wanted to show the good, the bad, the ugly of this. Can I go ahead and take out balance? Absolutely. Can I then keep it? 100%. It's done. It's fine. I can sort by payments here, and you'll notice now I've got 26 of 54, a lot less here because of that zero filter. So, I can get there, but again, I just want to show, is it really perfect? Short answer, not so much. But quite honestly, it's really, really good. Really, really good. Let's go over to items here. And let's do another funky one. So this is, I'll do a couple of iterations on this one. So number one, let's talk about profitability. Because I happen to know, by the way, I know that the profit margin is a field on the item master record. So I know I should be able to do this, right? Can you show me the most profitable items we sell? Okay, generate. Give it a second. Hey, look at this. All right. Now, did it show me the most? Let's go check out analysis views and see what it did. Did it do anything on the filters at all? Well, short answer, no. So it doesn't really know what I mean by most. And again, let's just look at profit percent. Could I do some sort of like top X, top N filter on this? Short answer is no. Could I do greater than or equal to? Absolutely. So it really has no way to interpret what I meant by quote unquote most. Okay. But one other thing I can do, you'll notice that item category is here because that's a field on the screen. So if I ask it to say, can you pivot by category? Short answer is, oops, it should be able to do that. So let's, oh, now we're cooking. Okay. So now you'll notice that it was able to actually pivot by category. Now I get a report by category. Now I can go adjust this, can I move column up to row? Probably, I can mess with it from here. You'll notice it's now in pivot mode because I legit asked it to do pivot mode. So yeah, we'll keep that one too. Okay, so pretty good, pretty good. Now again, I can get into the details, et cetera, et cetera. All right, let's dive in a little bit deeper now. Let's go to posted sales invoices. All right, I spelled it wrong, but it still figured it out. Yep. Okay, let's go back and get out of here. So here's what I want to do. I want to now show customer sales by year. So remember, we talked about the customer view. There was no date, anything on that master record, so I can't do anything with dates. But now I'm looking at the header level invoices. So, oh, hey, I can actually theoretically show customer sales by year, right? So let's go try that. So I am going to go to Analyze List, and I'm simply going to say, show me sales by customer by year. And let's see what it does. Again, this is pretty popular request that customers will give, right? So here we go. Okay, close, we'll call it. Okay, so you'll notice that if I open one of these little guys, it put the year in the rows. So not exactly what I asked for. Can you show year across the top? Let's see what it does then. Hey, now we're pivoting, right? So what we find is most users, and this goes for Excel, by the way, as well, aren't all that fluent in pivot tables. So while you've got this little toggle here called pivot, a lot of customers really don't work in pivot tables a lot, right? So having the ability just to ask it to, hey, I actually want to see this by year across the top, if you don't mind. Hey, suddenly, wow, look at that. Okay. Now, if I drill into this, you'll notice I've got, I think these are customer records. I've got currency. I've got location code here, and then I've got the sum of the amount. But what I really want is I kind of want the invoice number, to be honest, right? So that's actually over here. So I can add document number, and then I got to kind of bring it up here a little bit let's put it like right there. I don't know if I really care about location at this point in my analysis, right? But now if I show, that's the customer, there we go. Right now, customer number, I don't really care about. Let's take that out, right? Let's see what we got here. Blanks is currency, and there's my invoices, right? I think we had an example where there were some $0, let's just see here, some $0 invoices as well. I don't see anything off the top of my head, but I could also ask Copilot to remove the $0 invoices as well. But yeah, not too bad. Now, that being said, too, you know, what I can do is again limited by the fields available on the screen. So you got to kind of take a look at what's available here, and that's really all you can pick from. But you'll notice that it did correctly interpret due date year. It actually also sorted it ascending in the years across from left to right. So now that was actually a feature that, quite honestly, I think was a tweak as of late, because every single time I would run an analysis view using Copilot, it actually would screw up the sorting on the year 6 ways to Sunday. So it would come up with almost a random sortation of the years. And now it looks like that actually is fixed. So again, trying to show the good, bad, and the ugly here, so you're aware that there are some limitations, as there are with everything. But if you're looking to get at data, this is a tremendous tool for it. Okay. So let's switch subjects. I got a couple more that I want to show you. Here we go. Let's go to now posted sales invoice lines. There we go. Okay, so let's, again, I'm gonna bring this back to kind of square one. So here's my normal view. And now what I wanna do is we're gonna enter analysis mode. Oops, sorry, not what I want. I wanna hit the Copilot button, there we go. So I'm gonna go into Copilot mode, and I'm gonna say, can you show me the top product sales in the last year by revenue by customer? Let's see what it can do. Okay, so we'll give this a second here. And let's take a look what it came up with. Oh, it's thinking about it. Here we go. Literally not much. Ah, here we go. Okay, there it happened. Now, interesting in that it took, again, the invoices and put the products across the top, and then I'm going to make a wild guess that it put the, let's see what's down here as we continue to drill. Yeah, unit price down here as well. So did it actually do anything for the year? Let's go see. Now, here's the indicator. Year, date, anything date is actually not a field here. Now, that being said, there are date fields in the invoice line of a posted sales invoice. They're just not visible here yet. So again, in future releases, I would assume that they will be. We will also be able to do table joins. It did automatically filter out the zeros, so that was kind of cool. And like I said, it put the items across the top. To be honest, I don't really love that. I would prefer that it would kind of put those down on the rows. Now, can I go do that? Yes, but that's not a pivot table. So I have to pick something to go across the top. Maybe it's type. I can pick and choose. But again, this gets me a good start. I would probably do something along those lines, but you'll notice the pivot really looks not amazing right now. But anyway, just again, want to get your creative juices flowing. This gets me, where I want to be, but I would probably argue that I want to put the item first and foremost, then look at the customers that it was sold to, right? As a simple example. So again, it got me part of the way there, didn't get me all the way there, but not definitely way ahead of where I would have started without having Copilot, for sure, building it from scratch. Okay, last one. Let's go to chart of accounts, because I want to do some GL inquiries, but hold on a second. When I go to the chart of accounts view, there is no Copilot, there is no analysis view available here. So you can't simply go to the chart of accounts and start querying your GL. Okay. What you can do is you can go to the Copilot prompt, and you notice I actually did that already. How much have we spent on advertising in the last 12 months? And what it does is it basically prompts me to go to the general ledger entries page. Okay, so okay, let's go there instead. So maybe I didn't know where the heck to start. Let's go back here. Give me 1 second. And so what it did though is really nothing helpful, to be honest. It sent me to the general ledger view, but quite honestly, to the wrong even GL account. This is something residual expense. I have no idea why it chose to do that per se. So let's go ask it now. My question, right? Which quite simply is, how much have we spent on advertising in the last 12 months? Question mark. And there we go. Now let's see what it does. Now I also happen to know, a little side trick here, that advertising is an actual name of a GL account in the chart of accounts. So would this work without knowing that if I simply used a term that was somewhat generic? Maybe I said marketing and I don't actually have a GL account called marketing, probably wouldn't work, just between us, right? So here we are. It shows me three different postings that have taken place. Now again, did it filter by year? Let's go see. Okay, it chose the right account, and it actually did do it for the last year. Not bad, right? Now it did in a range. There's no relative date filters yet for analysis views, but I can still ask it if I want. Let's just as an example, kind of clear this filter. Let's just delete that completely here. Oop. Here we go. Let's see. Let's just do not blank. And now let's see, we got a little more stuff here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask it, can you pivot by year at the top? So I can see my spend by year across the top. We'll give that a second. Now that I've got a little more data. Before it just would have shown 2025. So it honestly wouldn't have been that entertaining. Let's see what it does now. Okay, so now we just fell for the same problem we had before, which is because in the original query in Copilot, I asked it for just the year. So now I'm just going to say remove the date filter. There we go, and see if it actually works now. So me manually removing it, Copilot remembered it, put it right back. Now here we are. So once I told it to remove it, here we go. Now what you'll notice that I commented just on the last example that it actually figured out this date nonsense. And look what happened here. 2025 is in the wrong place, so we're just going to drag it right over here. I think we're good otherwise. Yeah, there we go. And I've got some zero entries and things like that, so I can go ahead and fix that. But again, really useful tool. I can save these, I can keep it, I can come back to it. So that's the real value. You kind of play with these once, you set them up, and then you go from there. So again, a tremendous amount of value in just being able to do this. So, all right, so that's it. Hopefully that was the good, bad, the ugly of using Copilot in analysis views. But like I mentioned earlier, it is up and coming. They are investing tremendously in this capability. I know table joins are on the radar for, I think, the next release, and every single release they keep refining Copilot for sure. So anyway, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you need to reach us, feel free. We have now over 45,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, well over 3 million views. And this video will get added shortly. But thanks for joining me today, and have a great one.